Hey guys, good morning. Since I did the Q&A video with you guys, I've had a few people kind of challenge me on some things, and I wanted to provide clarification on that because the challenges I received are the direction that the challengers went, they're completely incorrect. So let's touch on that. Someone challenged me on what I said about, my comment was, I said that the lower denoms cannot be released before the rate changes. Someone challenged me on that. Let me explain why that can't happen and why that person was incorrect. Okay, if they release lower denoms before the rate change, the first thing is people would have to carry large sacks or duffel bags of lower denoms and coins to the stores to buy consumer goods, and I promise you that's not going to happen. If they don't want to piss the citizens off, that's going to be the fastest way they piss the citizens off, is if they have to start carrying very large bags of currency to the stores to buy consumer goods because the rate hasn't changed. Okay? Now here's the second thing that person did not think about. The way that they argued it as a currency devaluation, and they weren't even aware of it. Okay? Because they said that the lower denoms would be released before the rate change, what they're telling me right there is that the currency has devalued. And the way that, guys, the way that equates is this. Look at Iran as an example. Iran deleted 4 zeros. They replaced their larger notes with smaller notes, and they did not change the rate. Okay, so if you released smaller notes to replace bigger notes and you don't change your rate, you've just devalued your currency. Okay, so that's another reason why they're not going to release lower denoms before changing the rate. Because on March 20th, the CBI already came out and said they plan to increase the exchange rate of the Iraq dinar. So if they're going to increase the exchange rate, that means that the new lower notes have to be released at the same time the rate changes or increases. Otherwise, it will be a currency devaluation. So the person who argued that with me is 100% incorrect. Okay. Second, someone had asked and said, because I've made comments about stating that Article 140 is post-RI. Someone asked me and they're like, do you have factual proof on this? Well, guys, there is no book and there isn't factual proof on everything. Somewhere you have to just grab the facts and piece them together and really just use your brain. Okay. It's not that hard. Okay, there is no dinar revaluation for dummies book. Okay, you have to go really just go through the facts, which is what we do here, and you have to think this through. It's very simple, guys, on Article 140 that yes, it is post-RI, and here's the proof. Okay, the current Constitution only goes up to Article 139. Okay, and the article I posted yesterday told you right in it that talked about Article 140. It was part of that article was inaccurate because it actually said that Article 140 currently is part of the Constitution, but it's actually not. Okay, so that was incorrect within that article. The Article 140 today, as of right now, is not part of the Constitution, even though the article said. But so here's my point to you. Because Article 140 right now is not part of the Constitution, you can't enact or enable a law that does not exist. Okay, so, and I showed you guys an article a while back on Article 140 that said, like the HCL, it said it's been enacted for 15 years. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, if it's been enacted for 15 years, okay, ready to be added to the Constitution and ready to implement once it's, what the hell is it waiting on? It's waiting on something. It's waiting on something, guys. It's just been sitting out there on the shelf for 15 years. What is it waiting on? Guys, here's the bottom line, okay? If the Iraqi currency is not internationally recognized, that means it cannot be sent abroad. So there are Iraqi citizens that live abroad. So that means if they were supposed to be paid Article 140 checks, they can't be, because the currency right now is not internationally recognized. That's why the currency cannot leave the country. Well, because the currency can't leave the country, that's why they cannot implement Article 140. They have to increase the exchange rate, make the currency internationally recognized. Then, remember, I've always stressed to you, 140 and the HCR are the last steps. They can only be done at the end when the rate changes. Okay? That's because once the rate changes, then they can amend 140, add it to the Constitution, and then implement it. And then the dinar will be recognized outside of the country. So that is why it's a post-RI step. Okay? Then the third person today had asked about, give me a second here, I got to think about this. They were asking about, this morning or yesterday morning, I made a comment about, I talked about the 25K note and the 25 note coexisting together. Okay. Well, guys, this all goes back to the deletion of the zeros videos I did. I was very clear on those, but this is going to be the absolute last time I talk about this. Okay. Right around the year 2012, the CBI had put out an article where they said 2 currencies will coexist together. That's not my opinion, that's fact. Okay. So if 2 currencies will coexist together, what does that mean? Well, the CBI already told us on March 20th they're going to increase the exchange rate. Okay. But they also tell us they're going to delete the zeros. Delete the zeros means you replace large notes with smaller notes, which does sound like a lop, but it's not. You don't look at it as one note replaces another. Okay. That is what's going to happen, but let's put this in layman's terms. What's going to happen is the large 3-0 notes are going to become end of life. Okay, so like the 25K note will become end of life and replaced by a 25 note at an increased rate. But because the 2 currencies, because the large notes and the small notes will coexist together, again, the CBI told us that around 2012, that means that the 25K note will maintain its high value and the 25 note will maintain its value. Nothing's going to be reduced in value. They will, once the rate changes, both the 25 and 25K note will multiply in value. It's that simple. Okay? You guys have a great day.